Welcome, everyone. This session is being recorded, so if you're watching on demand, welcome to the party. Wherever you're joining us from, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the 15th edition of Vynners Community Masterclass. I'm Isha from the marketing team at Vyntelligence, where I help bring these incredible stories to life. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be your host today. Today's topic is incredibly relevant to all of us. You might come across this service the next time your washing machine or TV stops working. It is an industry first, game changing video AI for smarter repairs. And trust me, you're about to hear some game changing insights. We've got two incredible speakers, Grant Halsey and Rishikesh Askoolum from Curry's, joining us, ready to share real world stories, hard won lessons, and the smart ways they're transforming their operations with video AI. But first, quick housekeeping. Throughout our time together, we want to hear from you. So please drop your questions in the chat anytime, whether for our guest speakers or the Win team. We'll tackle them live or circle back during our dedicated Q&A. Ready? Let's dive into today's masterclass. So moving on to our agenda, what do we have in store for you today? First up, I'll share a quick overview of the Winners Community, our purpose, how it all started, and why we're here today. Then we'll move straight into the heart of our session, winning stories with Grant Halsey and Rishikesh Askoolum from Curry's, hosted by our Customer Success Director, Melissa Kennedy. Following that incredible session, we'll recap the key insights from our speakers and lead a Q&A to tackle any questions you have. And finally, we'll be presenting some well deserved awards to the game changers who are our star winners today. It's going to be an action packed session, so let's get started. So, a quick bit of history first. The Winners community exists for one simple reason: to create a space where we can all learn from each other. Every single person in our community, whether it's a customer, prospect, user, influencer, or team member, is constantly discovering how innovation reimagines the way we work and drives exceptional results. The Winners community is where we come together to share those breakthrough moments and learn from each other's experiences. Today's focus is particularly exciting, using innovations like video intelligence to achieve smarter repairs. And here's what makes this special. While our speakers, Grant and Rishi, come from the retail industry, the insights and strategies they'll share are applicable for any industry. So, without further delay, I'm thrilled to hand over to Melissa Kennedy, our Customer Success Director, who will be leading our conversation with the Curry's team. Melissa, over to you.
Thank you, Isha. So it's my pleasure to talk today. We're going to introduce industry first. Currys has been very active in their mission about giving technology a longer life and reducing environmental impact. And in this search for technological solutions to support them, that's what led them to us, to Vyntelligence. So I'd like to introduce the Currys team and the Vin team that worked with them, who will share the journey of this industry first, starting with the idea, how it started with a simple idea, into a very fast 2-week pilot to validate MVPs, and then going on to commercial deployment, including integration into the Curry's systems, ecosystems, and all of this in just 6 months. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Rishi Asklum. Rishi is a senior project manager for Currys and is one of 20 project managers with their supply chain and service operations transformation team, spanning logistics, delivery and installation, returns and repairs. And he has a career spanning 40 years in supply chain, notably within the Burton Group, Amazon and Currys, where he joined in 2008, working within continuous improvement and transformation supply chain programs. Most recently, he completed the introduction of Vyntelligence within Curry's repair operations with a fantastic cross-functional team collaboration across two businesses. When away, he likes photography, traveling, dogs, and welfare of which involves rescue work with Japanese Akita Welfare Trust, which is a registered UK charity. So welcome, Rishi. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Really great to have you here. Next, I'd like to introduce your colleague, Grant Halsey, Operations Development Manager at Currys. He's a leader in product returns and repairs within services operations. He started as an engineer 20 years ago, grew through project management roles, and he's now driving tech and service innovation to elevate post-sale support for Currys customers and colleagues. He's a family man, he's a travel addict, he loves film and series fanatic and sports enthusiast, with one exception, which will make some of you cringe. He doesn't like cricket because he thinks it's boring. Those who love cricket will probably say it's because he doesn't understand it. So I'll let that conversation happen after this event. Lifelong Nottingham Forest fan, you will find him at the City Ground every home game. So welcome, Grant. Great to have you here.
Thanks for
Next,
having me.
great. Next, if I can have Hattie, I'll let you introduce yourself. And after you, I think Madra is here as well. If Madra could say a few words. So that would be great. Hattie first.
Bro, hi everyone. Hattie Lister. I've definitely been on these sessions before, but I was helping Currys do the Industry First Challenge and launch Vyn. So looking forward to talking about that today. Madda, over to you.
Yep. Hi everyone. I'm Mother, part of the Vyn team and part of the product team here at Vyntelligence. Hattie and I were quite closely involved in bringing our cross-industry learnings to Currys and also learning a lot along the way ourselves to stand up something with Currys. And I think that is what we want to bring to life today. So thanks for having me.
Great. So I think we could stop sharing the presentation, Aisha, and then we can see all of us in the panel. I'll be moderating the panel. I'm Melissa Kennedy, as Aisha introduced. I'm part of the customer success team. So team, everyone, all this started with an idea. So who would like to start first? Rishi or Grant, tell us a little bit, what were the challenges that you were seeing in your service operations and how did this idea kick off this program?
Thanks, Melissa. I'll make a start. So, yeah, we know products can develop faults, right? And that customers can sometimes be unsure of what that actual issue is and how to relay that back to a colleague in our store or in our call center. So, as a business function, our aim is to provide a standardized diagnostic or triage solution for each type of the core categories that we sell and make these solutions available at each customer entry point. So, whether that be online, in store, or when a customer calls through to our contact center. So we want to keep tech going longer because it's better for customers, it's better for the business, and we know it's better for the environment. So having these tools isn't just to support customers though, it also helps our colleagues to have a standardized way of checking the product, which leads to better conversations around the services that will be available to them. Now, we already had digital solutions launched across TV, computing, and mobile within our business, but we needed something to support our white goods repair service, which is typically a mechanical or analog product, and in most cases it's diagnosed remotely. So our white goods repairs are completed in a customer's home, so we rely on our contact centre colleagues on capturing all the relevant information over a phone call and then ordering the parts that they believe that will fix the customer issue. Now, we're really good at fixing things first time, but we knew that we could do better. And taking learnings from our Repair Live two-way video service, which connects a customer to a specialist engineers online, we knew that having eyes and ears on the product will help to improve diagnostic accuracy. So we're always looking ahead to think how any solution can be kind of automated and made self-serve in future. And that's where we knew that we wanted to start using elements of AI, and that is where our collaboration with Vyn began.
Great, thanks for that introduction. Well, after this, this is a retail first, and to roll something to retail first, before you got there, there's some important steps in place. I know there was a 2-week pilot to try and test things. I would love you to talk us a little bit about that, Rishi.
So we were quite lucky, really, because we had the vision, which was pivotal in getting us off the starting block. So the key things for us was starting off with a cross-functional discovery workshop on site over at Thetford, which is one of our sites. And we conducted that with Grant, the team, the engineers on site that would be handling the customers. And there we were able to establish what our test environment would look like, what we'd like to achieve, put a process around that, set the expectations, and identify the key measures for success. All of that pivotal in being able to go back to our business case and our Stairco teams to be able to get a go, no go. And the fact that we're sitting here in front of all of you has already sort of probably given you that indication that we got the approval. And then it really was good old-fashioned project management with regards to then once we had that green light, we were able then to set up 3 levels of communication to get everybody on board is probably the best way of putting it. So that we started off with some immersion comms. We did some great graphics and insight with a combination of Hattie Madder and Grant to be able to get the message across the business, across the different work streams around what the intent was. So once we got people engaged around what we wanted to do, then it was really around positioning the enabling communications. And then from there, it was all about keeping everybody informed, I guess, over the course of the journey. And the comms I've started with, because that's pivotal, because the actual project management of it, the principles are pretty much the same. You take an idea, you get the scope, you define what you want to do. Part of that define is around creating a detailed project plan, the change impacts, the training, putting the comms around it, moving into delivery where you can knock down your designs, your build and everything that you need to do to be able to establish then a plan with the rest of the team that was going to give us a measure of success. And I think keeping that very collaborative, keeping it agile, keeping it fluid was really, really key because, our contracts came to fruition just before Christmas, which is a very challenging time for any business. Because it's a seasonal impact that everybody goes through. So we had some challenges there. We had some dropouts across our tech teams and some drop-ins. So we had to mobilize and be very quick, very nimble. And I think this team demonstrated that on all fronts. But yeah, we rolled out this technology to 600 colleagues. The project itself was 435 tasks across 73 work streams. But we landed it. 600 colleagues, lots of customers. But I'll leave Grant the opportunity to put a bit of closure around that, around what the business outcomes led to.
Can I jump in here as well? Is that all right, Rishi? Because I think
yeah, please do.
That is so much you've just covered, and I think one of the points that we've got to talk about is the clarity of the vision that was so held and firmly believed for the whole team. So when I got the call that I could get to go and speak to Currys, I was like, this is very, very exciting for us. Like, one industry name for us to get to go and talk to, quite different from our usual. Like, when it's industry first, it is the first UK retailer that has ever adopted this type of technology. And I don't think we should brush over the importance of that clarity of vision and the collaboration that Rishi has just kind of taken us through that's enabled to get there without any problems, because we flexed and we changed as we moved. But at the end of the day, we had a clear lead of this is the outcome we want, and this is how your technology is going to help us to do that. And it was very easy for us as a team, Madder and I, but also, of course, the rest of the Vyn team that's always there as well, because you guys invited us in and you let us come and see your depot. And you let us come and meet with your teams and talk to them about what the actual problems are. And then we also enabled them to have a go at the technology as well, and have and understand the impact that just being able to see and hear the problem, because hearing is so important for your teams as well, to pick up what is that noise at the back of my fridge, or why is it that my machine is wobbling so much. Like, so much of that is from the visual and the sound. So I mean, Grant, having you show us round your absolutely huge distribution center and then getting to meet your team and hear what their problems are made it a lot easier for us to come up with a quick design, didn't it, Madder?
It did. Yeah. And Grant, if you don't mind, just sort of touching upon a little bit uh, around what would that say. So, it's such a huge program that we're trying to tackle, and we've got the solution that we think in theory would work for you. And we said, let's do a 2-week pilot. What were the kinds of success criteria that you were trying to set around it to make sure you achieve what you need to in 2 weeks? Also, not draw it out for too long, but also see the impact of technology quickly enough for you to have a go or a no-go sort of thing.
Yeah, I think like being close to the operation, how it works, and being close to the technical people, we kind of understood what we needed to get out of this to make it successful, and we knew the type of info that we could get from it and the difference it would make. So, our key measures were, first time fix rate. How quickly can we get the fix repaired, and can we do it first time? Can we reduce our write-offs? Because if we have to take 2, 3 attempts to repair a product, then it gets at risk of being written off. So we had a clear vision around what we think this would give us, because we've gone from having no visual of a product and making an assessment based on how the customers explained what the issue is, to all of a sudden having a video of the issue, capturing the sights, the sounds, but also, supporting evidence such as the rating plate and things, the serial plate, which is key info for our engineering team to be able to make sure they're ordering the right part. So we knew we was going to be able to make this a success because of how much it would give us. Yeah, I think one of our challenges, because when we did the pilot, it wasn't fully integrated, and we were doing it kind of manually and thinking, how can we do this and kind of prove that it's going to make a difference. So yeah, one of our challenges was around response rate. So if we're contacting customers and asking them to do this new process, it wasn't quite fully live yet. But yeah, I think that was our challenge, is getting customers to do the upload and do the VIN to give us the best kind of chance at repairing it first time, and that became a key learning for when we weren't full live, based on the response rate of the pilot. So we knew that as part of integration, we had to explain to customers within that booking journey what's going to happen and why it's important, which was is really good. Some of the things that the call center agents were being asked by customers, what's the point of taking a video of my fridge that's not cooling? Like, how can you show something not cooling? But if we refer back to when we were scoping out the pilot in Thetford, to a trained eye, you might capture something on that video that they pick up straight away and say, well, that's not cooling because I can see, I don't know, a wire hanging out the back, or a kink in the seal around the door or something. Or in Hattie's case, when we had the session in Thetford, and she showed her one of the engineers a picture of a faulty washer, within like seconds, it was like, oh, that's a faulty motor, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Because again, to a trained eye, getting the visuals and audio enables them to make the best decision.
And
That was going to be, yes, we go on, Hattie.
That washing machine went viral, by the way.
Clarity to everyone, I overloaded my washing machine, which is why it was making the problem. So it wasn't that it was breaking, it was my usage. So a great example very quickly of where Currys wouldn't have sent an engineer, they would have done some customer education on how to use your machine properly. I thought I was cutting a corner, but it was going to end up costing me more money. And I think, so yeah, managing to test that out in a couple of weeks, because you wanted a certain amount of samples, didn't you? And you wanted to evidence that customers were actually going to do it, Grant, because there isn't much we can do if people don't. And you saw a good enough uptake that quick, didn't you?
We did, yeah. obviously the response rate could have been higher, but even with the customers that were doing the uploads, it was meaningful, and we proved that we could drive benefit, we could improve our first visit fix rate and reduce our write-off rate with the customers that do go through it. So yeah, even with the short time frame for the pilot, we still got some rich data from there, and which then went and led to build our business case for the full launch.
Yeah, and I love that you guys were just brave enough to say, no, we are doing this with real customers,
Well,
because we could have all just tried it at home, but you didn't.
yeah. I mean, we have a strong understanding of our customer base, and that's probably something that really we need to get across to your clients. That one, understanding your customers and the customer base, and taking your customers through those evolution steps, as Grant said. So this was just as much getting the number of repairs or getting an understanding of the problem as it was understanding what was going to be the customer challenges, because we revisited scripts so many times to get it right, to keep refining it, to get it to the point where we could take out those layers that we didn't need and put in layers that we did need, that would get the customer focused and get the customer what they needed, not just what we needed. But also, to couple with that, we had a very strong platform as well. So the platform that Grant has built within the Repair Live operation, this really was set up for something like this. So having those two key ingredients was really, really key, I think, to its success.
Now, a significant moment that I remember at the pilot, and it's good to talk about this, is that we launched the videos and they were coming in and they were working fine, weren't they, Grant, for the washing machines and the stuff. But there was that particular thing about the fridge, and I think you gave me a call and said the resolution isn't high enough. And honestly, that's not something we'd ever been told before. I think we're used so much outdoors, in spaces that aren't just pure white backgrounds, and that was a challenge. Now, sometimes people say to us like, "Oh, we need this," and it's a little bit different. It's very hard for us to go back to our tech team and kind of evidence why. But you'd made me a lovely little package of information and evidence points, hadn't you?
I think we found that quite quickly, actually, because of the volume of uploads that we were getting, and I suppose the intensity of the engineers using it, and digging deep into how it showed. We quickly uncovered, I think, the if a customer was using an iOS device, then the quality was okay. If they're using an Android device, it was being compressed, and therefore it wasn't as clear, which made it harder for an engineer to actually view the product. So yeah, this all got fed back, and we gave some examples to the team, and they went away and made some changes which improved the visuals on the upload, which obviously the engineers love that because they can see things better and do their jobs right.
And it is so important to make it equally available to everyone across the UK. So that's a lot of different Android devices, which is something that this pilot taught me. I hadn't realized that would actually be a thing. So that was one of those challenges, but I think we just came to the table and said, what's the problem? You presented the evidence and we were able to solve it pretty quick and still deliver a pilot outcome. So we should probably talk about what happened next now, just looking at time. I see Mel.
Before we move to wherever the next part, let's talk a little bit about, as you go into the next part, what were some of the challenges that you went in when you were scaling this? So you had a successful pilot in those 2 weeks. You made a decision because you had that clarity. So even with limited data, you had enough quality data that allowed you, with your expertise and your knowledge of your customers, to say, yes, let's go, let's do this. So then we started live, full integration into the system. Tell us more.
I don't know if you want to cover this, Rishi, but I think our immediate challenges from going from pilot into full implementation is that we're now talking about IT changes to embed it into our system. So it's the wider teams. We have to bring more people on board, building out the requirements, and relying on other areas of the business to deliver the tech for us. Like, we were clear on, from the Vyn side, how we want the customer journey to work, what information we want to capture from the customer, but it was a lot of effort to make sure that we were building from a systematic point of view, a journey that worked for customers, but also for colleagues. So we wanted to integrate the outcome from what the customer is uploading. So after the AI summary has taken place, and we've got a nice clear summary of what the fault is. We've used OCR to pull the product details, the serial number, etc. We wanted to make sure that pulls into our repair system, so that it's efficient for our repairs team to be able to go to one place to get all the key information, and then they've got the video within the Vyn platform to look as well. So I think that was probably our immediate challenge, and we had to start thinking straight off the bat after the pilot is, how do we bring all these extra teams in and make sure we've got all of our requirements down and stakeholders in. If you've got any builds on that, Rishi.
No, I think the architecture took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but we pulled it off in the end. I think you summed it up quite nicely. But there's so many dependencies on the tech, because you can't build your training, you can't get the colleagues underway. It underpins everything. So if there was one area that I was going to say people need to just devote a little bit more time, it'd probably just be in that IT arena to get close to your designers, in the architecture. But the rest of it was actually a breeze, because whereas normally, security teams and data management teams can be a challenge, we kind of whizzed through that. Getting the contracts over the line near Christmas, a little bit challenging, but we got through that. And then really just getting the team stood up and ready after a hearty Christmas meal when we came back in January was a little bit slow going, but we got everybody up and running, and all of a sudden we were in the thick of it, and we were launching, which was great. But those were the key bits, I think.
How many systems have we, like individual ones, have we actually integrated into? And it's not just delivering links out to the Vyn videos, is it? We're literally extracting some of the AI data and putting it into your records as well. Is more than one?
So I think there's two in total systems that we had to make changes to, but our repair system being the key one. But yeah, all of that rich info now sits within our systems and nicely accessible for the colleagues that need to use it. But and it was both ends really. So there's when a job gets booked, there's a trigger point that's done by one colleague. So that's the contact center. So there was changes at the front end that we had to do, and also cover that off in training. And then the changes at the back end. So once the customer's done their upload, how that feeds back in and can then be managed in a certain way by the engineers that will be using that content to make the diagnosis. So two system changes, but the main system was kind of the entry point and the midpoint.
We have just seen a question come through. I know we're supposed to save it to the end, Mel, but seeing as it's on exactly integration, can I just ask Grant now?
Yeah, we should take it now.
And we're going to use one of Rishi's favorite words. We're going to make this fluid.
Okay, so we have had a question through. Did you integrate it into the CRM system? And if so, how easy was it to do it? What kind of timescales did you plan versus how long did it actually take? I think that might have come from another project manager or someone that's been burnt from integration projects before. Have you got any insights you could share on that?
You can go one by one. Did you integrate into any CRM first?
Yeah, so we did integrate into our CRM. It was relatively straightforward, I think, but we had other the team had other activities that they had to manage alongside ours, so prioritization came into play, and plus the bulk of the development was done during our peak trading times, which is in the lead up to Christmas, where usually we don't deploy many things, so the team had a good run during that peak period to make sure that everything was developed and tested thoroughly to coming out the back end of our peak period, to then start getting into like UAT testing and preparing for launch. So I think, I don't know, Rish, if you've got anything on timescales. I think once we'd got our kind of requirements down and the architect had done his work and drafting how it can all work within our systems. It was the actual system development was quite quick.
Yeah.
And then the testing after that was also quite quick.
Yeah, I think if I recollect, back in November through to the end of Jan, we were pretty much there in terms of design and build.
Oh, all right. Thank you for taking us through that.
And just with like videos coming in right now that it's become operational. By the way, huge shout out to both the tech teams on our Win side and on Curry's side for actually making it happen. Like I know the amount of work that they do on the background in terms of the AI, the security and integrations and everything, and similarly on your sides as well. So thank you for that. But now that it's operational, what is the colleague experience feeling like? What are they saying now that videos become a part of their day-to-day diagnostics world, just receiving them, watching them? What's the experience been like for them? How are they feeling?
Yeah, I think so. The engineer team and the operation team were excited straight off the bat when we were doing the pilot. They were really excited. That, like I said, they knew straight away that this was going to be a game changer for them because they all of a sudden they've got eyes and ears on the product. So they couldn't wait for the full rollout, and that excitement's still there today. They love um, having all this extra rich data and all the visuals and everything. Um, from a TV side, there's more that we can go at. So at the minute we only cover our in-home repair operation, so where customer repairs are done in the field, but we want to introduce this for our repair collections as well. And we've got the operation, on it is now. Or when can we get this launch for our repair collection so that we can get visuals before the collection takes place? So they really love it. They see the benefit that it brings not only to the business but also to their day to day, and now it helps them to do their day to day. So yeah, really excited since we launched, and we often go and sit and listen and think, have you got any thoughts or ideas around how we can make improvements? So that's something that we need to carry on doing. We work closely with the operation because the guys that are using it are best kind of suited to say how we can improve.
Yeah, I do
And
agree. You get great
and
ideas from the field.
we did see our customer satisfaction scores nudge in the right direction.
We
So
did.
yeah.
So
Did
customers
you,
love it.
did they
That's good.
do you survey them after using a kind of a phone call or like one of those text things? Give us a score out of 1 or 10. How do you survey customers?
It's an NPS like text survey that we send to all customers post repair.
Okay.
So yeah, we measured the impact. We looked at the pilot and it was pretty strong, but then we measured it for the first few months after launch, and we saw quite a nice jump in customer feedback, which you would expect because we moved the dial on our first visit fix rate and we moved the dial on our write off rate. So that was reflected in the customer feedback, which is good.
It is good, especially when actually you're asking them to do something for you. People often can be a little bit worried, but they're like, I can't ask the customer to do something for me when that's what I'm supposed to be doing for them. And they've paid money for this, haven't they? Like, I'm a Curry's customer, I have care package, and it has saved me when my dishwasher went down, right? But I guess it's what's one of the fears sometimes with people, like when looking at this type of use, is like, can I really ask my customer to do that? But as long as you do something with what they've done and you make the service better, then I guess that's where that CMEX improvement comes from.
And that goes back to what I said earlier around the scripts or the conversation that the call center colleagues were having with the customer when the point of triggering a VIN is fully going into detail as to why it's in the customer's benefit to do what we're asking. And we designed the storyboard with you guys, so what the customer actually gets to see. We designed that in a way to make it like intuitive and informative and clear on what we're asking them, so it doesn't look too scary. You've only got a couple of steps to follow. Um, it's
It's
not
only a
it's not
few
too bad.
steps and it's very purple, just in line with Curry's branding.
Purple.
It looks
That was
friendly.
that's something maybe Matter you could also bring in here. So this was quite unique for us because it's the first time we did such in-depth customer branding, and that was also a journey for us. How was that, Matter?
No, I think it was good. It was interesting. Like you said, I think we have the skill set and the tools to be able to do it, but we never really were pushed by anyone to do so. So like I initially, when I said in the introductions, Hattie and I learned a lot. This was personally one of the learnings for me, where branding could be taken to that extent, and we did deliver upon that in terms of making and look and feel like the Curry's customer sticks with a Curry's branded uh, service for their repairs journey. So yes, if you ever get to use the Curry's service, then it would look and feel exactly like how this should, very purple. But that being said, I think it's worth just sort of touching upon the AI bits as well a little bit, right? So AI is part of what we do as part of the Win product, and you guys also use it today in your repair life. I mean, sorry, in your repair journey. Uh, how is it that you're finding it? Where is it that you're using? It'll be helpful for the audience to know a little bit more on that, Grant or
So
Alicia.
I'll add to that because there's a question here which
Oh, okay.
very
Yes.
much to what you're saying, Madhu, is how useful was the AI to you, Currys, and how accurate is it?
Yeah.
It'd be great to hear from you, Grant and Rishi.
So there's a couple of features with it that AI is working well for us. So the first one is the face blurring technology. So that was kind of key in terms of from a GDPR point, protecting customers and protecting confidential information. So the face blurring technology is really good. So when a customer uploads, if they accidentally capture um, somebody's face, then Vin will blur that out. So there's no risk there. And it'll even, so we've had quite a lot of TV repairs come through, and the customer's got, I don't know, like a program in the background while they're recording their Vin, and it'll even blur the faces on the customer's TV, the program that they're watching. So that's really good. The other key bit is the AI summary and the key issues. So picking out from the customer's speech and what they've recorded, that kind of overall summary, which is one of the key bits of data that's pulled into our kind of job notes for an engineer to view, gives a really good snapshot of what the job is without them having to go fully into it. So they've got a nice understanding of what the customer's issue is, and then they can go in and dig deep and watch the video and link to the certain keywords that the customer's said, and you can fast track to that point within the video. So that's been really good. The accuracy has been good. We've not really had much. I think probably one or two cases where I've had the operations team come back and say this doesn't quite make sense, and then we've fed it back to the Vin team to go and check their end. So yeah, that's been key. And then the OCR piece. So we're using character recognition on the serial number plate. So we ask the customers to take a picture of their serial plate, and then Vin will use AI and OCR to pull the make, the model, the serial number, the production number, all the key bits of data from that label, from that image, and feed that into our repair system, which, as I said earlier, that is really key because you can have many variants of the same model type in service. And if you need to replace a part, you need to know the specific variant of that model. Now, if you're only capturing the model singular, then there could be, I don't know, one of 10 of the same part type that you need to order. And the way that we work, we order the parts before we go and do that first visit to the customer's home. So we need to make sure that we've got, the exact model details so we can order the exact part that's needed to fix the customer's issue. So that OCR element, pulling all that extra rich data into our repairs system is all of it combined is really beneficial. It's good.
Cool. Thank you.
I know for something like this, it's very important to have the right team. And I imagine that through the journey, you might have had people come in and out and you had to onboard people. Any insights you want to share on that? Because that's something definitely that is relevant for, any use case across any industry.
I think building the team actually was pretty straightforward because I would say probably 90% of the work stream leads and the representatives that they put forward for this program were well-established colleagues, colleagues that both Grant and myself had established relationships with across the business. So aside from a couple of areas that I recall where there'd been some change of names on the door, um, we pretty much. I mean, even when they brought in replacements, we knew them. It's it just having that relationship, because both of us have long tenures with the company, so that's probably a key one there, Melissa, that, whoever you appoint, to lead this type of project, although the technology speaks for itself and it's very exciting, the relationships were really key at the front end. So having a PM and having a subject matter expert in somebody like Grant that understands cross-functional processes, and has strong relationships and ties across the business, it just bode really well to an end result.
Thank you. That's very helpful. There's some other questions here, I think, on the chat. Let's have a look.
So there's one about training, right? So I think,
Yeah,
Grant,
can
as
you
you
read that
said,
out?
you had about 600 people who you've taken on board. Um, and obviously there's systems involved, and you launched a full integrated solution for the returns. Uh, I think it would be helpful to sort of touch upon what did training look like? Was it extensive? Was it short?
Oh man.
So on and so forth.
I'm really excited about this bit, so I'm going to jump in ahead of Grant before he does, right? and hopefully this will resonate in kind of what I say.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the immersion comms, right? So this is
Mm-hmm.
where the 3 layers of comms are really important. Immersion comms, right? And how do you engage people? So the technology is exciting, but that's not enough. This isn't the sort of thing that you can sell to the business and sell to colleagues with loads and loads of narrative, right? So what we did was we went for a visual engagement. So we had a great team that put together a great video that enabled us to engage the colleagues very quickly on the technology, what it can do for you, how you're going to benefit from it. So everything we latched into this. I remember having the conversation with Grant and Izzy, bless her, who isn't with us, who helps us with the training materials, around how do we make this really exciting, because it can't be a click this link and you go to a 24-page document and I'm going to read all about it, and hopefully I'll remember what the first page said and then I'll be able to use the tools, right? So this had to be really slick, really engaging. So the training was actually pretty straightforward.
Okay.
And it was just a drumbeat after that. And I'm going to hand it to Grant, because I think the training piece, I think what we did was fantastic. Game changer, without a doubt, for Curry's.
I think you covered that nicely. So we started off with it was like a 90-second animated video showing an end-to-end journey of a customer using Vin and for his colleagues how they would interact with Vin, and kind of calling out the key benefit. So that really helped kind of set the scene as to why we were doing this, why we were launching it, and how it impacts a customer and how a colleague can utilize it. And then I think like for the to get deeper into the training for our engineering side, it was a couple of pages. It was really straightforward because the key people that were supporting in the pilot were the ones that were going to do it when it was live anyway. So a smaller impact on the engineering side, so we could cover it off quite quickly. That I think the biggest piece of training was with our contact center, because like I said, they were the ones we were having to generate scripts for them to explain to customers how it works. So that side of the business didn't have to interact with Vin because we'd integrated. They were using our system to trigger it, but we needed to make sure they understood why they needed to trigger it, and they were relaying to customers why it's important for them to do the action once it's been triggered. So I think the bulk of our training and our focus was on that front end piece rather than the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm just going to say there's video for repairs and then video for training as well. It's very fitting, isn't it?
Video of a video, but it sounds like the messaging was part of the training, which I think is something to really pick up. it's not just the actual training, and then it doesn't sound like the click here, click here, click here was too extensive and time consuming either. Once you'd sort of demonstrated it through your videos and your GIFs and your animations, which we know you love, then it was actually
GIFs.
pretty simple. Had a lot of chat about that, about putting them in storyboards, didn't we? Sorry, distracted.
I think we have time for one last question before we go to the next part. Unless, and Grant and Rishi, if you want to say anything else as well, please, by all means, do. So the last question was around what's next. Without giving away any trade secrets, can you share, what do you see the future of this technology within the business? Anything you can share?
So there's probably a couple of different angles. So firstly, we're already looking at what other work streams we can use this technology in our business. We have repair collections, like I said, lined up because that was already part of our business case for us to start utilizing. It's just when the timing's right for us to switch that on, we will ask customers to do a video recording before their repair is collected and brought into our central repair warehouse. So that's the first one. Like I said, there's other work streams that we're looking at, but I think longer term, and this was kind of what we got excited about when we first kind of collaborated with you guys, it's what we do next with the information that we capture and how we use our, AI to make it self-serve for a customer, so we can link faults to a fix and give the customer an outcome there and then without an engineer having to intercept. I think that's kind of a key one where we want to get to at some point. How do we use this data captured by the customer and link it to fix so that we don't have to have that interception.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Mel,
Now-
can I ask one more question? Sorry, just because a colleague has just pinged it to me, and I don't know why they haven't put it in our chat. We're just ruining it. So Grant and Rishi, I just had quite an interesting question around, could Vyn be used to enhance authorized after sales services and like connect with your OEMs? Because it's not just you, is it? You also work with the suppliers of your product. So I don't know if you thought about that connection at all.
It's been discussed. I mean, right now within our white goods service, the bulk of our repair is with our care and repair customers. So that's our kind of extended policy, and less so with manufacturers. But we have that relationship with manufacturers, and it's definitely something that we can look to exploring in future.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mel.
Great, thank you. Well, perhaps I can ask all of you to stay here, please, because for the next section, we're going to share some of the key insights that we gathered in the session. So we talked a lot about bold vision and purpose. So it's very important setting the direction with sustainability and customer first goals. And I think it's really very inspiring what Curry's mission is. And we're very happy to be able to support that mission and be able to, such a short space of time, help to bring that bold vision to life. As you said, that you're already seeing results. The next one is around agility and fluidity. And for this one, Rishi, I would love you to talk us through this one.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. It's about knowing your teams. So there was a few individuals that I handpicked out, deliberately, sort of in advance of sort of getting into the planning of who are the people that can, remove some of the challenges quite seamlessly and quite quickly. But also because of the depth of knowledge and experience within those individuals, we were able to anticipate challenges and overcome them well in advance. And that, in effect, keeps everything fluid. So if you can anticipate your challenges without doing some of those heavy duty change impacts that you see some of us have to do. This was a known arena. It was an established platform, established teams. So, we were able to anticipate some of those challenges, in advance and overcome them. And yeah, just being able to just roll through the Xmas period, as Grant said, we utilise Christmas to our advantage, get the contract nailed in advance, use that period of time when the IT development teams had capacity, get the designs and everything locked down, get ready for post-Christmas launch. Away we went.
Brilliant. Now, the next one is around power of collaboration, having the right people, empowering the right teams, and having the trusted partnerships. And I think this really there was a really close-up relationship between the Vyn team and the Currys team, and it really is a fantastic story to tell. The next one is around transforming experiences, having better outcomes, of course, for your customers, for your engineers, and for the business. And the last one, I'll let you close it off, Grant, around leadership.
I think straight off the bat with this, we had the backing from our group leadership team around what we wanted to do. We have that kind of backing regularly, which allows us to go ahead and make decisions on and bring that kind of the vision to life. So yeah, I think all the way through the business we have clear understanding of what people are doing all the way from the top leaders down, and we're given and I don't want to say the autonomy, but we've got the backing to be entrepreneurs in what we do. So that really helped with making this a seamless delivery. And we're seeing that in the successful results.
Thank you. Well, with that, we're going to move. Please stay here. We're going to move to the next section, which is our Star Vynners session. So since 2021, Vyntelligence has recognized over 35 Star Vynners who have made a significant impact in their teams and organizations. The Star Vynners, they have a game changer's attitude and are instrumental in leading change, in scaling innovation and delivering game-changing business benefits, such as what you've seen here today, improving efficiency, having better customer engagement, and having better business outcomes. Today is very special because it's an industry first, and as such, we would like to recognize not just a person, we want to recognize the team. So Isha, if you can bring up the next slide. We want to recognize the Currys Repair Live team. They have really been a true game changer team at Currys, but also for us at Vyn. It's been one of the most incredible teams who had the pleasure and honor to work with. They have set a new benchmark for everyone in the industry, for us as well as a company. And they've set a first smart repair deployment. The collective innovation and determination has transformed what we initiated as a bold idea into reality, demonstrating how technology can really elevate the way we work, the way we engage with customers, the way people collaborate with colleagues, and how you can deliver future enhancements. By turning challenges into opportunities, the team has not only achieved a significant milestone, but it has also reshaped how we think about services and repair. And through collaboration, creativity, and precision, they've really delivered powerful results that will have a lasting impact across the business and across the industry. Thank you so much. We would like to invite you, Grant and Rishi, to receive the certificate of recognition on behalf of your team. And please, first of all, an applause from us.
Thank you very much.
The panels who are here. And thank you so much for joining us today. And please, over to you if you want to say some words, and afterwards we'll share this with you so you can also share it with your teams.
Thank you. Go for it, Grant.
Yeah, I'll just wrap it up with thank you to you guys. It's we've said throughout that this has been a really strong collaboration, and it's helped by having people that are willing to be agile and support with our various needs and demands, particularly with Brandon, etc. But yeah, it's been a really smooth delivery, and I've enjoyed working with you guys for the past couple of years.
Thanks, Grant. Thanks so much. You too. It's been a right laugh and exciting from day one.
Our interpretation of some things have certainly changed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
in a positive way.
Yeah.
In a positive way.
We look forward to continue working with this. So we'll drop off. We'll hand over to Isha, who will close off our session. But thank you very much to Rishi and to Grant. It's been absolutely an honor to have you both here. Thank you for sharing this story. It's truly inspirational. And I know that many of those in the call watching it today and those who watch it on deferral and another day will be inspired by the journey that you've taken.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. What an incredible session. As we wrap up today's masterclass, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we've accomplished together. From the very beginning, our mission has been clear to help busy professionals like you simplify your work by effectively utilizing innovation, embracing an agentic video first, AI first, people centric approach. And today, we've seen this transformation in action. A huge thank you to each and every one of you who joined us today. We truly recognize and celebrate the winners who have been with us on this journey for innovative and transformative change, making every day at work simpler, faster, and safer. A special thank you once again to Grant and Rishi from Currys for sharing such valuable insights with us. And huge congratulations to our star winners for pioneering game changing approaches in your respective work. You're all truly inspirational. Before we sign off, mark your calendars. Our next masterclass will be next month. We can't wait to see more game changers join us as we continue our mission for happier customers, contractors, and colleagues. Thank you.